Welcome to Reaper Suburban Homestead. I'm your boy Reaper. What is today? Today is Thursday, June 27th. It is currently 76 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 86, and the low is supposed to be 74. There's a 30% chance of afternoon showers today. We got a little bit of rain, I guess, last night. Um, like the title says, we're going to water some sunflowers today. So we're going to head out. I didn't bring a towel. No tea of the day today. It's kind of warm. Actually feels nice. It feels cooler today than it did yesterday. Um, we're going to head out to the outer rim where the berries are and the sunflowers, and we're going to get the sunflowers watered today. Um, let's get to it, man. I hope everybody's having a good morning. I don't usually just wait around for people to come in these lives. You know, you show up when you show up. I appreciate any time you put forth. It's greatly appreciated. But we're gonna go on out here to this garden. I'm feeling kind of trash this morning. My tummy hurts. Tummy hurts. But we still got work to do. I didn't come out here as early as I normally would. But you know what? Let's do this flipper ripper. We gon' we are going to did I connect this headset, man? I did. We are going to uh definitely water some the sunflowers. But we got a few things I need to address. One being this sweet 100 tomato. We need to kind of get it trained to this fence. Catch them while they're young, baby. Catch these branches while they're young. They're a tad bit easier to deal with. Now, I don't have a particular knot for this. I got a take time machine, honestly. I don't know if it'll fit around this board, this, what is it, stringer on this fence. So we just gonna do that like that. Nothing crazy, just a little double overhand knot. Not too tight. Just want to secure it. And then we're going to do the same thing for this branch here. It's leaning. Well, it's not leaning. I want it to lean. I don't really want it growing straight up. So, and I'm trying to be careful. These branches are pretty supple, but too much pressure will cause them to snap. So we're going to put that one like right there. Let's grab another piece of plant tape. I just dropped my whole roll of plant tape, of course. But of course, darling, but of course. My bad. Extreme close up. It's a beautiful day. The sun is starting to come out. The birds are always singing. Always. All day, all night. Well, most of the night. Alright. Let's get this tied. Let's kind of tie both of these together. Let me get this pulled a tad bit closer to the fence. Man, I almost decided not to stream this morning. I'm trying to become more consistent with that. But, bruh. Ugh. Alright. We got that like that. We're going to let that work. Alright. And with this, we're going to let this slide. Now, with my sweet 100 tomatoes, I don't really prune off the suckers much. And this year I didn't. I usually prune all the suckers that come up before the first fruit set. This year, as you can see, I didn't. So we're gonna let that. We're gonna see how that works. Same thing with this. We're gonna let that ride for now. Maybe at some point, cause this, I have to look at this plant and see. Cause this is a sucker. This is the main stem. Am I looking at that right? I might be looking at, yeah. I think I am. But either way go, we just gonna lay that down. Quick peruse through the garden before we head out to the strawberries. Out to the sunflowers. We got some Roma tomatoes starting to form. Looking pretty good. These are the Romas. The sweet 100s. Sweet 100s. If I can get my hand out the way so this thing will focus. And then we have Rutger tomatoes right up in here. Some kale. Let's check on this. Let's check on these collard greens. These collard greens have an issue with some powdery mildew. I've treated them once. So we'll probably treat them again. You see the holes? Cabbage worms. I need to treat again for the cabbage worms. And for me to treat with cabbage worms, all I basically use is dishwashing liquid and water. That may or may not work, honestly. When the worms are smaller, like this, it does better than when they get bigger and have color. If they get bigger to the point where they have color, I have to switch to something like Spinoside, which they sell at the Blue Big Box store, and a product called Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. Or we can buy something called BT, which is Bacillus thuringiensis. That'll take care of caterpillars. I really want to say, I can't remember. I think BT is non-discriminate, like it's gonna kill insects, period. And so we ain't trying to kill all of them. We just want the cabbage worms gone. So far, I hadn't seen but two. There we go, right here. So once they start kind of getting this color, then what I use doesn't really work because it's natural. It is not really much of an insecticide for real, as much as it is a deterrent. So, I call it an insecticide. I call it Reaper's Bug Barrier. And the only thing in there is soap. I mean, other than the main ingredient, which is usually some herb. Um, but the soap will kill small worms. See, like right here, this is a small worm from the first day I sprayed. It killed that. Doesn't even look like a worm anymore. But the bigger worms, once they start to get color, it's not as effective. Here goes some young ones. They're so small and tiny you can barely see them. Let me move my hand so maybe it can focus. They look weird. Look like striations in the plant leaf. It'll take care of that. We overcast today. I might find some time and come back. Look at my neighbor's yard. I don't know if y'all can see that. Across the fence, them tall plants, that's my neighbor's garden. Those look like tomatoes. Oh my God, they so tall. Oh my God, that's a 6-foot fence, bro. And they are over the fence. Man, my neighbors get it in. They say they don't really grow. My neighbor's wife say, I just kind of mess around. She does a great job, honestly, man. Last year, she had okra standing up so tall. I'm talking about so tall. The pods were huge. And, I just got excited because when I see okra in the garden long, I'm just like, man, that's planting for next year. She collecting her seeds for next year. I just get excited when people grow stuff. I do. I truly do. I harvested the lemon cucumbers as well as a couple green cucumbers. We got one down here that's close to, come on, move out the way. Move, get out the way. We got one cucumber that's close to being ready. Now these cucumbers hadn't really put off like I thought they would. Especially the lemon cucumbers. I seem to have gotten like one from each vine. And that may be my own fault. I may have let them stay on the vine too long. Bird got that one. Pop that off. They may have stayed on the vine too long, which when that happens, the plant switches gears from producing more fruit to maturing the seeds in the current fruit, which will mean basically you'll get less fruit. Look at the citronella. I need to walk around with this. These bugs ain't no joke. All right, come on. Focus. Oh, look at my toasted holy basil. It's about time to start popping off some of these flowers and drying them. And we're going to put them in little sachets to make little drawer fresheners, room fresheners, car fresheners. It's a great smell, but I find a little bit goes a long way. Look at my purple cornflower. Incarnation looking pretty good. All right, now that sunflower was dying. That was the first one we had. Bird dropped it. Um, I guess I could just Google this. Man, do all sunflowers produce seeds? I mean, at some point, right? I have to assume that these will, if I leave them on here long enough, they'll turn to seeds. How's the plant going to propagate, right? Anyway, we'll see. Just looking around. The red Russian kale. Let's see what's. Now, we have holes in this, too. Now, that's coming from the cabbage worms as well. These are both brassicas. The collard greens are a brassica. The kale is a brassica. Cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. They're all brassicas. Those are all things that'll fall victim to the cabbage worm. And as my queen calls them, the canker worm. You let the canker worm eat all our stuff. This one right there by my thumb. I'm gonna rub him out. So we have to spray these things. The Malabar spinach is doing something. Looking pretty good. I came over here to get some breakfast. Let me be for real. Now I do check for little bitty bugs and things on the undersides of leaves most times before I eat. All right, breakfast time. Oh, I got a grape right there. Man, that can't be. Man, whoa, that kale is super sweet. I was not expecting that. Huh. Kind of bitter on the back end though. I'm not sure if that's how red Russian kale is supposed to do, but it's a rough green. So, I mean, it's just like eating a collard green raw. So it's not like a lettuce. It's more of like a, you know what I'm saying? A roughage green. I don't know what they gonna taste like if I make some kale chips. I might get that in today. Got some grapes looking good. All right, man. I don't waste enough time. I ain't wasting time. I have to check the garden. Now I've noticed this right here on my corn. See these little bitty bugs? They so tiny. I can't tell if they're aphids or what, but I keep seeing these little border bugs. That's a border bug nymph. A border bug is a black bug with an orange band around its body. They don't seem to be really damaging. There's a border bug. Let me catch this joker here and show y'all what a border bug is. Come on, baby. There we go. This is a border bug. That's what that little black bug with the orange dot on his back turns into. Now they don't seem to be. You just jump off, huh? YOLO. They don't seem to be damaging to the plants. I think they do have sucking mouth parts and can cause damage. But I hadn't seen any damage that I can recognize and be like, that's y'all. I don't know if they eat aphids or what. I usually see them around up in here. But I'm going to spray this corn again because I don't know what these are. But we're going to see. We got corns forming. Corns. We got corn forming. The wind is blowing now, so if I shake these tassels, I don't know if you guys know, corn pollinates via wind pollination. So these tassels come, no. These tassels come out first, and at some point the corn starts to form little corns and silks. Now when the wind blows, it blows the pollen from off the tassels down into the silks. Each silk represents one kernel on a corn cob. So you want them all to get pollinated. So the wind does it. That's why it's a good idea to plant corn in blocks so it can fall amongst each other. But the wind is blowing toward me right now. So anything falling over here, anything that falls from a tassel up here is actually landing somewhere in this area. Or either further, because it is really light. It is really. I hope these little border bugs ain't messing up my corn. Which is cool. I can't eat corn anyway, but the fam does. All right. Feeling a little bit better, moving around. Got a little vitamin D in me. Eat some cantaloupe. I think these are cantaloupe. All right, let's get this done, man. It's time to cut the yard again, man. Forget the yard cut. All right. I mean, why am I tripping? I know this is like a weekly thing. All right. Let's head on out here to the outer rim. Can y'all see them sunflowers out there? Burly. Let's head on out here. Get this stuff watered. It's gonna probably be a short stream today. My short, 30, 40 minutes. We're gonna get this stuff watered. I started watering this yesterday and ran out of water. And by ran out of water, I refill those barrels pretty much every day. With just city water, but then we let it sit there for 20 some hours to let the chlorine evaporate out. I mean, they put chlorine in our water to keep things from growing. And in the garden, the things that you want to grow is what the chlorine kills. The life, right? The soul of life. All right. I said, how y'all doing this morning? Look at these things. These things are tall. I'm 5'7". This fence is 6 foot tall. And what are these? These are the American Giant Hybrids. So these should get big. I hope they give me like a 10, 12 inch head. Wait, this same kind right here. Carpenter bee is in that top flower. I don't know if you guys can see that. I ain't zooming in. Now, here's what's getting me. These ones up front are called moonshine. I did not know that they're going to get that tall. I tried to keep the tall ones, to the right of the grapes because the sun kind of chills over in this direction in the morning. But they're huge. All right, man, let's get to this. This is nothing I got to give myself some slack first. Let's walk back up here a little bit. And we're just going to grab this water hose and bam, we're going to turn around and walk. And I should get a little slight tug at some point. That's probably everything. All right, let's get this. Where did I leave off at yesterday? Come on, man. Let this go. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm messing with the grapes this morning, trying to get these vines under control. I think I left off like right up in chin. Yeah, I did. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna continue to squat or eventually sit my butt down. We just gonna kind of hand pull squeeze back here. There we go. Come on, baby. Now I'm gonna be for real. I was kind of tripping on the fact that I didn't get full coverage of sunflowers throughout this whole area. But I let that go. This is my first time planting anything back here, so let me temper my expectations. Because in my head, you know, all I saw was I'm gonna call it a hedgerow of sunflowers all the way back there. We did well. We did well. Old seeds, planting at the wrong time, having to replant. No complaints. We'll try it again next year. And these leaves will help anyway. There we go. Right now it's running all the water that was in the hose out, and it's actually starting to pull water from the barrel. That rushing water through this tube creates a vacuum. And then we are downhill from the barrel. So we're just waiting for this, I don't know, 200 feet of hose, I think it is. There we go. Now we have pressure. We got pressure. Now I'm gonna be for real. I really want to use this whole barrel to water all of these. I really want to give them a really good soaking. But it's hot, right? So, and it did rain last night. I don't think it rained much. I didn't come out as early as I normally did, but the grass wasn't even wet. I think today gonna be a barefoot day. I should have left my shoes up on the porch. I don't mind being barefooted, but I don't want to carry no shoes though. Carry some slides. All right. And this part is boring. But this is the job. All right, while that's doing that, I hate sitting still. While that's doing that, we're gonna kind of start pulling out the slack on this thing. And we'll let that happen like that. Now here's the thing though, I can't walk away. You know what I'm saying? I walk away, I mess around and forget. I'm gonna cop a squat right here. And we just gonna keep on. We wanna see how my now this sunflower here is weird. I think the top died for whatever reason and quit growing up and just started spitting out side shoots. Cause I almost thought this was a different type of sunflower. But they look just like their brothers. They're I don't know what you call it, row mates, I guess. So I think something happened to the top. But man, these things are beautiful. I always have liked sunflowers. I mean, first of all, I like to eat sunflower seeds. Ate so many sunflower seeds growing up. Started receding my gum lines on the left side while I took them things in my mouth. I mean, I actually quit eating sunflower seeds for like 2 years because it's more of like an addiction. If I get a huge bag, I'm probably gonna smash the whole bag. That's not really good. Now I tried to reprop that one. That one just died. But that's cool. I have a plan for the stalks anyway. We're gonna dry the stalks, especially when these big ones are done. We're gonna dry the stalks and the heads, and then turn them into charcoal. So I guess you guys will come on that journey of making charcoal with me. I hadn't made charcoal in a minute. And then we're gonna make a water soluble potassium fertilizer. I wish I had a bigger. I'll use a paint can to make charcoal. I wish I had a bigger method. Like honestly, I wish I had a bigger, I don't know, 55-gallon drum. But I also don't know how much if I get ridden up by the HOA for producing that much smoke until it starts to heat up. Making charcoal doesn't really produce a lot of smoke, but as the fire is coming to temperature, it does. But then at some point, it gets hot enough to where it burns off all those extra gases. It's actually a pretty neat process. Get back in there. Oh, these mosquitoes, bro. If I can speak, what is the mosquito situation like for you guys this year? It stormed there, bro. I don't think it stormed here, man. I think it rained. I might have heard a little thunder, but I don't really think we got a lot of rain, man. Like the grass ain't even wet, and the sun ain't even out. You know what I'm saying? So it's dew wet, if that makes any sense. It feels just like dew, not like rain. The patio didn't even have dark spots from where the wood had gotten wet. I think I had just heard it a little bit. So that's my only thing about depending on the rain or water stuff. And whenever I'm depending on it, yeah. Whenever I wish it wouldn't rain so I could spray, boy, get her in, get her done. That's how it goes, though. Now I'm doing better about spraying and fertilizing the garden this year than I did last year, but it's still not 100%. I still miss weeks, and I got to figure out how not to go. So we'll see. I ain't gonna lie, this is like the most boring part of this quote unquote job. This is the part I want to get rid of too. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and start trying to expand some money and setting up irrigation. Just I'm not trying to spend the money to irrigate everything at one time. I want to, but I don't want to spend my money on it. I only have a small amount, right? So I think I'm gonna just kind of do it piecemeal. I think so. Then again, I might just get lazy, just get some soaker holes and try that out until I can do what I want to do. I just need a more efficient way. I don't like the fact that I have to come here and do this manually, because while I'm doing this, I can't do anything else. And if we can automate this, and it frees up time for me to do other things around the homestead. My bad. I'm recording my hand. I got a sexy hand. All right. We're gonna keep her moving. We're gonna get Lucy Junior. This is a lemon tree that I propagated. I air layered from one of my old lemon trees. It died last year. I left it outside. She had started rooting into the ground, and I wanted to put her in the ground anyway. So I just let her stay, and she died. So, it's kind of one of them things to be like, that's cool, because I don't really want to move a tree back and forth, especially if I don't know if I'm gonna get fruit off that tree. I don't know if you guys can hear them birds, but man, they always sing. I've gotten to the point where I'm looking for the birds to be singing when I come out here. I do have an app on my phone to identify birds by their calls. We have a lot of, there are some American robins, some blue jays, some woodpeckers, some cardinals. Um, that's a songbird, the one that you hear now probably. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, man, I can't think of the name. But it's just interesting listening to them buds. These mosquitoes, though. Shoe fly, get away from me. Did I water the blackberries yesterday? No, I didn't. We're going to see what this water looks like. Because I did not water the blackberries yesterday. I'm super proud of how well they did. Woo! Head rush from squatting and just standing straight up. But one day I'm gonna knock myself out. I'm gonna pass out from doing that. From going from a squatting to sitting position to a standing all of a sudden. Makes your blood pressure drop. I'll mess around and be laying on the ground for a minute. I almost cut these ones down that were struggling. But then I was just like, bruh, let them do what they do. They kind of like corn. If corn ever gets blown down, it will eventually try to stand up. Now, of course, it won't be straight, but it will eventually start pointing toward the sun again. And I love the fact that sunflowers turn their heads toward the sun and reset at the end of every day. It's amazing. I'm surprised I ain't never tried to get like time-lapse footage. Yeah, I'm sitting on the ground. My butt ain't even wet. The ground ain't even wet. At least not that I could tell. God, I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with this side. Like, we didn't really get much germination from these mammoth sunflowers. Those were some old seeds, I must admit. But the ones that grow, I don't think that's a mammoth sunflower. Look how short it is. It's called a mammoth. It's supposed to be tall. But I'm still, I am still thankful for the sunflower. Anyway, regardless of what it is. All right, get up, slide down. And as you can see, I mean, I do hand pull a lot of weeds. I need to get my weed eater working. I need to look at the carburetor on that thing and see what's what, so I can kind of take care of some of this stuff. Like I said, my yard guy does a great job, but you know what I'm saying, just make it easy. I'm trying to delineate areas where I definitely don't want him cutting the weed eating, because in the end, he's a yard guy. I'm not expecting him to know which of these are plants and which of these need to be cut without me marking them. It's an unspoken expectation. That's a way to that's a quick way to disappoint yourself when you have unspoken expectations. And I do just I do a, I didn't call it a chop and drop. I mean, all that stuff breaks back down. Some people say, man, you introducing weeds into your garden. I mean, they already out here, and they ain't really going to seed much, so plants don't necessarily regrow for real when pulled up like this. But the seeds might. So you should, like, if you're dealing with weeds and stuff, a way to deal with your weed bank, um, your weed seed bank, is to cut down the whatever weeds or plants that you have, calling weeds, before they go to flower, before they go to seed. Because once a plant goes to seed, that's, it's making seed. But if you can disturb the ground, get those seeds to germinate, and then terminate those seeds before they finish their life cycle, that will deplete your weed seed bank. Every time you turn over the ground, you're introducing more seeds to the proper depth in which to germinate. And then by killing them, without letting them go to seed, you are decreasing your seed bank. It's not quick, takes a while. It'll happen over time. And plus, new weed seeds will get blown in, dropped by birds, dropped by animals. So just understand, it's an ongoing process. I know some people who use what I call dragon's breath. It's like a little propane tank on a dolly with a nozzle, and they kind of just lightly burn the ground to kind of get rid of weed seeds. But you have to be careful with that, because if you burn it too deep, then it's like rejuvenating that weed seed bank. I've seen people do it. I've never actually done it myself. It's a neat concept. We just don't have that much space to need it. All right, we got these. What time is it? We got these sunflowers taken. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Look at that. I think we might just go ahead and call this fair. It is 8. I got somewhere else I need to be. All right, so let's go ahead and get these trees some water, because they looking pretty dusty. I need to find some more Rubbermaid totes or something to put these in. I used to water them from the bottom, but Rubbermaid totes are not UV resistant, and I didn't like paint them with like UV paint. So by the end of that season, they were, I think they might have lasted a season, 2 maybe. They were super brittle. Began breaking them when I moved them. So did I toss them or just pile them up? I don't remember. All right. I think what I'm gonna do is, come on, Fig. I done bought you. I done actually paid money for you, and I'm just neglecting you. I'm gonna be for real. I like figs. Not like it's a love, but I didn't realize there were so many different fig types and varieties. Honey figs, berry figs, sugar figs. Bruh, I want them all. Because I just want to taste them all, right? How am I going to know what I like if I don't get a chance to taste them all? And I want to grow them all. Now selling them, that'll be cool too. I mean, you gotta understand, I enjoy this because of the food it produces for myself. Selling these things is just a means, just a way to be able to keep on doing what I'm doing, right? Produce some food, make a little money, keep this going, and be able to spread this joy of growing with other people. I mean, it's a joy for me. Might be a hobby from somebody. You know what I'm saying? May be necessary for somebody else. Who knows? But I saw my mom over the weekend, and she has a greenhouse. My first time seeing her greenhouse. She has it looking amazing so far. I think I'm gonna try to help her with putting in some windows. She was saying that she needed like 3 windows on each side to help with the heat, because the day we were there, it was 115 degrees inside the greenhouse. So she's like, nothing lives, which I get. So I'm gonna see if I can help her make some windows. Never done it, so learning a new skill I'll eventually need, and I get to help Mama reap out, right? Oh, and she gave me some snake plants. I have not shown you guys the snake plants that she gave me. She was rooting some snake plants, and some of them had germinated. And I was like, oh man, that was amazing. She's like, you like them? I was like, yeah, they're cute. They look nice. And she was like, you can get these. I'm like, Mom, I ain't trying to take your work. She said, boy, look at this plant I pulled them from. And she just started cutting away. I was like, whoa. So we're gonna try them out. We don't really have many house plants. The way this house set up, they don't really have many exterior windows. That, they have windows, but not a lot of sunlight coming in from the way this house is situated. Look at this. This pup is getting bigger than the main one. That's funny. I like it. All right, let's give this a little water. I'm hoping today is a slower day at work where I can actually use my 15-minute breaks and my lunch to come out here and get a little work done. And so yesterday I just used my lunch. I ain't even really take the 15s. I was kind of busy with some stuff. All right, that looks cool. Now, I think, I think, I think what I'm going to do is, let's see. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna water these strawberries, and I think I'm gonna leave the water hose in with the blackberries. I'm not sure how much water's left in this barrel, but we'll let the last of it run out into the blackberries. Now this year I fertilized my blackberries with some fertilizer that I got from the Blue Big Box store. It was called a Spoma Hollytone. Um, I only did it in the spring. I had big berries, and I'm not sure if that's from that or from my overall care or the genetics of the plant. But I'm trying to get away from having to purchase fertilizers. But that fertilizer is specifically for acid-loving plants. So the blueberries, if I can turn over, the blueberries are acid-loving plants. The strawberries, I ain't gonna say they're acid-loving plants. They can tolerate a lower pH than 7. And then the blackberries, I think they kind of like that 5 to 6 range as well, I think. And so I just use that once a year in the spring. So here's the thing, they did well this year, and I want to go without it next year to see how they do. But at the same time, we got so many blackberries. I do want to know if the Korean natural farming inputs that I mean, I can't give all the credit to that fertilizer because I only use it once. I've only used it once on these plants at all. And so I have to assume that what I do most has the most effect, and that's the Korean natural farming. So country. Y'all can't see it. Now this is a pot. Can y'all get up in there? Y'all see that this pot ain't even filled with soil? And these blackberries are thriving in here. I mean, I do add compost to it a little bit, several times a year. Not a lot. I'm saying I use that as an amendment. It's full of nutrients. Maybe not a lot. But it puts soil life back into the pot. More organic matter, more things to break down, more things to eat, things to break things down. I mean, even this one here is growing out the hole in this pot. And I think this one is too. I mean, that's how else would they be growing right here? And I guess they could be coming from a neighbor, but they more than likely found the drainage holes. All right. All right. We're going to drop that right there. We're going to let that just sit right there for a minute. All right. All right. I appreciate you two, whoever the two people are hanging out in the stream, in the chat, in the live. Flipper Ripper. Appreciate you for hanging out with your boy. Your boy feeling a little bit better now. Tommy was hurting earlier and I almost didn't do this. I'm gonna be for real. Tommy. But glad I did. And it's nice. It's cool out here today than it was yesterday. Uh, I don't know. I think I am going to grab my laptop and I think I'm going to work from the garden this morning. At least until it like rains or does something else. Let me go out here. I need to check my compost too. I've been adding things to it, but I haven't checked it. I need to start more than one. I need to start like 4 of them and start them at different times a year so I always have compost ready because they're going to take about a year. So I started this in like the spring. I mean, technically I need to wait till next spring. Now, what I'm going to do is grab a shovel and start digging down to the bottom and see what the bottom looks like because logic states the first things you put in should be the first things to get ready, right? I should water this daily. I don't. It's hot in here. Oh, we got some composting going on because it's hot. I'm pretty sure ants in here too. Boy, they gonna bite me. They gonna bite me. Look at this. That's the damage from a squash vine, boy. That's what it does to the plant, to the vine. Bores through it and eats it. Anyway. See, we didn't get much rain. I love baking soda out here, and this baking soda is still baking soda. We didn't get much rain. Man, I don't know about y'all if y'all have a garden, man. I suggest everybody get out there and plant a garden. They don't have to be big. Be just a couple of pots, a plant in the ground, some lettuce, some tomato, whatever. Just plant something, man. Watch it grow. Tend to it. Get out there and get you some vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Let the sun kiss your face. You know what I'm saying? Change your outlook on things. I love it. I mean, especially overcast days like this. Because lately it's been just hot with no wind. That's not good. But today feels really good. I think I'm gonna grab my laptop and I think I'm going to sit right here. This is kind of like become my favorite spot because the shade from this tree when the sun is over there helps. And then in the morning, we don't really have a lot of sun this morning. So yeah, if it doesn't rain today, then I think tomorrow we're gonna take this mint and make some fermented plant juice. It's gonna take a week to make, but I'll show you guys the start process on that. But I need some more. So once we make some fermented plant juice, oh, you know one bed I never hardly show you guys. I need to come up with a name for this bed. Because all my beds and areas have names, but I haven't given this one a name. I don't know. I usually say something involving a window because the window is right there. But we have some native stuff and we have some non-native stuff. And here we have, this is chocolate mint. No, you shouldn't put mint in the ground, but I did. I like mint. I need a lot of it. And then we have strawberries growing in between here. It's like 9 strawberry plants up in there. And so on this side, we have strawberries. Now in these spots, I planted mullein. Now mullins, I can tell you this isn't mullein. I can tell you what it don't look like. This isn't mullein. This isn't mullein. I think this is the mullein, this little bitty one. So I'm kind of just letting it grow because I truly don't know. So we're going to let it grow. I'm also going to plant 2 different kinds of mint up in here as well. Probably orange mint on one side and maybe apple mint on another side. And the reason I'm doing that is because they look totally different. I won't get them confused. Like this is chocolate mint. I would never put chocolate mint and peppermint together. They look way too close together and they smell too much like the same thing. They're really hard to differentiate, for me anyway. So I wouldn't do that. But apple mint likes to grow tall, has furry leaves. The orange mint has more oval shaped leaves and they smell like citrus. The other one smells like apples. But yeah, hopefully we get some mullein from here. Mullein is a good medicinal herb that can be used. It's good for respiratory issues. So you can dry it and drink it in a tea. I think you can use it fresh in a tea. I know you can dry it and use it as a tea. You can even dry it and smoke it, they say. Which I kind of just find weird. I mean, I've done it. I mean, we have mullein in the house. I've done it. I mean, you ain't finna get no buzz or nothing off of it, but it's just kind of that thing of, wait, let me smoke something to help clear my lungs. Kind of weird, but you can do it. Anyway, let me get up off this thing. I don't spend enough time just yapping and yapping and yapping. I appreciate everybody for showing up. I appreciate your time. Man, just come holler at your boy, man. I'm gonna just try to be out here most mornings and trying to get some afternoons in if I can kind of free up my afternoons to actually be able to do this. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Um, thanks for showing up. Thanks for hollering at your boy. Glad I'm feeling better actually. Y'all know how this goes, man. Thank you for stopping by. Create more than you consume. And you don't have to suck at this because I do. Y'all have a good one, all right? Peace.